Possess Chaos Space Marines. Well, got my hands on 2 boxes of these, and this video we're gonna go over my thoughts on the model kit itself and what you're actually getting for the money. So I went ahead and got these all built up. These are essentially some remaining bits on the sprues. You get a couple of heads, a couple of hands that are missing arms, hands like that, tentacles, a blade hand, just a few heads there. Really, that's the Scullery Demon head. You could probably use that as a skull if you have Grey Knights. But anyway, look up here, and they look great once they're all built up. I mean, no doubt about that. They do look great. There is one issue I have with them, however, and I'll go over that real quick with you. And you ever heard the term monopose? Well, here's your little built like IKEA furniture sort of deal instructions, which is great. I do like these type of instructions. I'm a very visual kind of guy, so just seeing where these things go. Very easy assembly. There were some things that were kind of weird, but there's nothing that's kind of like blocking anything from when you assemble these. Now you have a couple options, and I mean a couple options as you go on ahead and build this model kit, okay? So you do get just 5 guys, and it's usually like choice A or choice B. Choice A or choice B. Choice A or choice B in this case, or you could just mix and match the backpacks. So that doesn't really matter too much. But even when it comes to like this guy here, he's got a very specific head. This guy here, though, he'll have a different hand. Just that hand is the only thing worth mentioning for customization on Mr. Spider Arm. Because he could be standing on a rock, or he could be standing on a Dead Space Marine. Obviously, you choose the latter and do the Dead Space Marine. And you could have either a monster claw, or you could have just him holding a ripped off helmet of that Space Marine. I just kind of chose the claw, him standing on that Space Marine anyway. But you can see there, that's it. That's just him. Same thing here. You get choice A or choice B in the head. Choice A or choice B in the arm. But otherwise, pose is the same. So again here, there. So you're going to have 2 variations, but their poses are going to be the same. They're dynamic poses. They're pretty cool looking, definitely. But if you want them to kind of look somewhat different and want to play with them, there's going to be some clipping that you're going to need to do. I'll just use this guy for example. Like, he's got a crab arm. He's got either this or like I believe it's like a sword arm or something. But anyway, you could customize him to where, and they got detail under these pads here when you go add them. This one does anyway, so it's like a muscular arm. But yeah, I mean, the legs are kind of stationed. You can saw off maybe the legs and everything. It's just kind of weird how they're kind of set up there. I mean, I like that, like how dynamic they are. Like, this guy's literally running. Give him a chain axe there. I love that. Showing that he is out to kill. They're elite assault units essentially. But again, when it comes to like an average painter, your average like casual, I would say war gamer that collects this hobby, they just want to kind of just build these out of the box. The first set be great. 1 box be fantastic. 2 boxes, I mean, you're gonna have a lot of repeats, man. Like, especially you're gonna have like 2 of these dudes, guaranteed. 2 of these dudes. The only difference is gonna be this arm and what he stands on. Definitely 2 of these guys here. They're gonna have the same pose. You could probably swap the heads, whatnot, but you're gonna be stuck with very similar poses on a 10-man squad. I would have preferred that it gives you different like kind of leg options like the old kits used to do, where you'd have maybe like a running legs or something like that, and you'd have extra bits. But they're really cutting down on the amount of bits that you get for these in general. But I remember the old kits used to have like a finite amount of legs and a finite amount of like bodies, but you would be able to go ahead and position the arms however you want, position the heads however you wanted. These actually have little slots to put the heads so they're looking in a certain direction. Now you could remove the little square that's on the neck of these guys so they kind of look wherever you want. But overall, I do like this set here. But when it comes to me recommending you to buy this, I would literally probably just buy one, to be honest with you. Unless, of course, you're a tournament player, and then I would say just buy two. But if you're a casual player, you just play with your friends, I would just recommend maybe just buying one of these right here. Or, going out and finding a nice STL, because there's plenty of cool ones out there for Possessed that's been around for a little while. And just do that. Again, these are just larger bases in general than your normal ones. I'll show you here in a sec. You can kind of see here that the new Possessed are quite massive. The little guy right here is back from like early 2000s Chaos Space Marines. Very small base. Then you have the Possessed Space Marines that came out, I believe, during 7th edition, going into 8th edition, and now, it's got nothing on these guys. Like, it's just, but this was neat because you had this still dynamicism to the, to the sculpt, to it. It just kind of still felt a little static. Wasn't quite there, but when I compare it to, like, this guy who is now, like, actually sprinting, where this guy who's just kind of, like, starting to run, it's definitely a noticeable difference. But you could tell, like, there was some things that were, like, left here, like this was cut from the sprue and just kind of glued together like that where he's running. Now, you had an option to where they could all be standing up, like, straight, kind of like how this gentleman is right here, And these ones used to be from just the regular Chaos Space Marines. In general, they'll have some mutated parts, and you just kit bash your own, like, Possessed unit. That stuff was great. Now we went up to this, which was cool at the time. Some of them did come with wingbacks, but that was nice. But overall, it was still pretty cool when it comes to, like, what kind of heads you want on there. Where do you want him to look? How far up do you want his arm? Like, if I clip this further, I could have his arm kind of more going, like, sideways instead of how it is right there where it's pointed out. Now, I'm glad they put this in here because there is a bit on there that is like a serrated sword just like that, so it's kind of like nodding back to what they used to have, which I commend them for doing. But yeah, I miss the amount of freedom you could have for customizing these, but I do love these new sculpts. So those are kind of some pros and cons for these here.
Well, everyone, that was my take on the new Chaos Space Marines Possessed. I have come down with a little bit of an illness, but, Nurgle has got to put his blessings out there. But anyway, hope everyone's doing well. Tell me what you think of the new Chaos Possessed. If you do like videos like this, hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more videos, go ahead and hit subscribe. I'm going to try to get back on a new schedule. I know I say that almost every time I make a video. But I'm trying my best here, and that's all I can really do. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And remember to never stop smiling, guys. Take care.